Hello friends, how's it going? It's me, Betty Jean. In today's video, I am sharing my March favorites with you. March has come to an end, April is upon us, and I tried some really cool things out in the month of March. I don't have the biggest pile, and I have very specific things that I'm talking about. Like, I don't have a huge variety of types of things, but I do still have some really cool things to share nonetheless, and I'm just super pumped to share them with you. I have some eyeshadow palettes, some lip glosses, some books. I have a couple TV shows as well, and I think we're just gonna hop into it. Before we do though, I did of course film this look. It should already be up on my Instagram and TikTok by the time this video goes up. And as far as my accessories today, this is just an old choker. I don't know where it's from. These plugs are Love Kills Boutique, and these earrings are Spooky Doodle Club on Etsy. So yeah, without further ado, let's just hop in, chat about my favorites. I always love doing these little roundup videos, kind of reflecting on the things that stood out to me the most, and I always love hearing your favorites as well. So let's get into it. Going in the order that I do my makeup, we're gonna start with eyeshadow because I don't have any complexion things that I tried out that were new and became a favorite. I used a lot of like older stuff this month, but I have some eyeshadow palettes that I fell in love with. First being the Rogue palette from Fantasy Cosmetica. I believe this one came out at the end of February, but I consider it more of a March favorite because I used it more like leading into March than I did in February to count it as a favorite for February. But it looks like this. It is so gorgeous. I did do a full video with this on my YouTube channel, and I did a video on my Instagram and TikTok, and I believe that video should already be on YouTube Shorts if it's not already. But I love this. I love Fantasy Cosmetica, one of my favorite brands for eyeshadow palettes. I love seeing this new palette from them. These shimmers are all so shifty and special and dimensional, and these mattes are all just so buttery and amazing. And this is the first palette they've done so far where it's magnetic and all the shadows are available as singles. So if only a couple shades speak to you, now you can pick up just those shades, which is so super cool. I love this color story. It's so moody and grungy and just everything. I love blue tones, I love smoky tones, and this is so good. Next up, another one that I was really impressed with is the collab between Salem Cosmetics and Smink, the Forest Heart palette. This is so pretty. Again, I use this on my YouTube channel, I believe in a Get Ready With Me, and then I have another video on Instagram, TikTok, may or may not be on YouTube Shorts yet, I'm not sure. Those videos are trickling out over time. But yeah, this is the palette. It is stunning. Just look at that. It's like a grungy garden. It's fantastic. These colors are so brilliant. I love these shimmers. They're very shifty and magical on the lids, and the mattes are really nice as well. I feel like they have good pigmentation and they blend out nicely. And I've said it a few times now, but I'm just so impressed with the quality of the shimmers specifically that Salem's been doing the last couple palettes. It has truly, I feel like, made such a switch for their brand. I feel like their palettes are so much more memorable and exciting to use, and I'm just super excited about the route that they've been going, and this collab is just amazing. Congrats to both the brand and the creator. I adore Smink. The things that she posts are so beautiful. She's so talented, and this is just a wonderful collab, so I'm super excited about it. Next up is what I'm wearing right now. I bought myself this at the end of February, and it arrived earlier in March. I don't know exactly when, but I've already done a video on my YouTube channel. I also think I have featured this again in a Get Ready With Me. So I've done 2 videos with this on my channel, and then I just filmed an Instagram, TikTok, and will eventually be a YouTube short. But it's the Cosmic Brushes Muse palette. I'm so obsessed. I love this so much. One of my favorite palettes I've tried this year so far by far. I'm so happy I treated myself to this. I've been wanting to try this brand ever since the Serenity blew up last year. Still haven't gotten my hands on that one yet, but I'm so excited about this one, and I'm glad that I finally got to try the brand out because I've been so impressed. This is what the inside looks like. It is magical. Again, those beautiful grungy garden vibes. This is like the epitome of what I want for spring right now, and I would have included this in my spring favorite, but I didn't have the palette yet at the time of filming that video, but I've been so impressed with this. The mattes are so pigmented and they blend so easily. Like, I barely have to work at all, and these shimmers are so good. Just look how wet my lids look. I've been so impressed, and I just love it so much. It is such a fantastic palette. I'm looking forward to seeing what else the brand does in the future, and I'm still hoping to grab the Serenity at some point, but I seem to always miss it because they sell out instantly, and I'm not always on my phone at the time that they launch, or I'm not always aware of when they're launching, but I will grab it at some point, maybe. We'll see. And the last palette I have is a newer palette, but I've already gotten so much love out of this one. It's the Nomad Cosmetics Royal Europe. It's their newest palette, and I'm so excited about it. I have a 2 looks video on my channel already, And my TikTok / Instagram video / YouTube shorts will be up at some point. I don't think it'll be up by the time this video goes up. But look how gorgeous. It's so pretty. I love these grungy jewel tones. They are magnificent. That amazing, lovely, easy to blend quality that I love from Nomad with their mattes. And these multi-chromes on the bottom are so amazing. They're so shifty and wonderful, and I'm absolutely obsessed. I'm happy to see this kind of color story from the brand. I feel like it fits in with all their other palettes so well and offers something a little different, and I'm thrilled with this one. Definitely one of my favorite ones they've ever released. Moving on into lip gloss now, I have a few to talk about. First of all, Lawless came out with this like lavender collection, and the two glosses that came with it, I love them so much. I think they're so pretty. Lavender is definitely something I'm craving heavily right now in spring, and these two glosses fuel my soul so much. Again, I would have mentioned these in my spring favorites, but I didn't have them yet, but these are perfect. We have Lavender Sorbet and Violet Bloom. Lavender Sorbet is definitely a more muted like kiss of lavender, like it's just kind of like a slight lavender mauve tint, but it's so cute and so easy to wear. And Violet Bloom is obviously going to be a little bit brighter, but it's so fun, and I don't have any glosses that color. It's so cute, that beautiful like almost fuchsia lavender. It is so stunning, such a knockout shade. I actually don't think I've used this one in a video yet, but I want to soon because it's so good. I've played with it in my own time, but I think it's such a good shade, and I love these plumping glosses. They're so comfortable and amazing, and I love that tingly feeling. It's so good. It's one of my favorite gloss formulas of all time. Also, Unearthly Cosmetics came out with 14 new glosses. 7 are just a cream and 7 are a sparkly finish. I uploaded swatch videos on TikTok and Instagram, and I'm sure that lip swatch video will be coming to YouTube Shorts at some point. But I love all the glosses. All 14 are absolutely stunning, but these two are definitely my favorites and the ones I've been reaching for the most. I am partial to the sparkly formula, but the cream formula is really good as well. We have Emma, which is what I'm wearing right now. It's just such a good shade. It's just so good. I love that sparkle. I love that kind of mauve-y, pinky background with all those little purple sparkles. It's just so cute. I wear this one so often. And I really like Avery. This one's also kind of like a pinky base, but it has like little golden sparkles going through it. It's just so pretty. There are so many unique shades in this line as well. There's like a sparkly purple and a sparkly green that I love, but those two are definitely the ones I've worn the most. So I felt like those were the ones that were fair to actually consider favorites for the month. But yeah, amazing formulas. Love these glosses, love these palettes. And that's it for makeup. Let's get into some books now. So I have a little pile next to me. As I've mentioned, I got really heavily back into reading like mid-February, and I've already read so many books. I think I've already read like 12 or 13 books, and I'm on one currently. And these are the ones that I feel like stood out the most for me in March. Again, I read a lot, and I loved everything that I read. I don't even consider anything that I read in the month of March to be a bad book, but these are the ones that I feel like have resonated with me the most, and I've kind of thought about the most, and have made me really excited. So let's chat about these. But I think I am gonna actually start doing at the beginning of every month, I'm gonna do kind of a get ready with me / reading wrap up where I chat about all the books that I read. So stay tuned for that. That'll be coming very soon. I'm really excited to film it and kind of combine my love of makeup with my new refound love of reading, because I used to love reading so much and I fell off of it, and I'm so happy to be back into it because it's just such a good escape to dive into a different world and just experience a different story. It feels good mentally and it makes me really happy. So I'm just excited to start combining those two and chatting about things. In the vlogs, I do constantly share like what I'm buying and what I'm reading, but I think these get ready with me reading wrap-up videos will be just a really good way for me to kind of sit down, chat in detail about everything that I read, my thoughts on everything. But for now, I'm just gonna give you a quick breakdown of the ones that were my favorites for March. But again, I will be going into detail very soon. First being the Fix It Witches series. There are 3 books in the series so far, with a 4th one coming very soon. I don't know when it's launching, but I think it's coming sometime this year. The first one being Witch Please. This one is through the witch Danica's perspective with her love interest Titus, and you're kind of just seeing their relationship unfold. They have kind of a forbidden love, witches versus mundanes or non-magical beings is what they call them. So yeah, that was super cute. I love a good forbidden love kind of trope. The second one in the series is Boss Witch. This is with Danica's cousin Clementine and her love interest Gavin's perspective. They have kind of a almost fake dating, enemies to lovers kind of trope, and it was really, really cool. This one dove into more of the history of like witches versus witch hunters and how all that unfolds. I really, really liked this one. I honestly liked these books more as they progressed. So I liked this one more than the first one. And then the third one is Extra Witchy. This is one of the other friends in the coven, Leanne's perspective with her love interest, Trevor, who is actually Titus's friend from the first book. And this one was also more so of a fake dating one. The second one wasn't really fake dating because they were dating, but it was like dating with a purpose of trying to like get close to the enemy kind of situation. This was an actual like fake dating. And then I loved watching that blossom. There's a lot more politics involved with this one, not only the real world, but also the witch world. And I really, really loved this book. And I'm looking forward to seeing what the fourth book is gonna be. I cannot wait. I will buy it as soon as it releases. Next up, getting away from the witchy rom-com side of things, which is right now my favorite genre. I love a good witchy rom-com, but I dove into my first Colleen Hoover books and I read It Ends With Us and It Starts With Us. I loved these. I loved them so much. In case you are unfamiliar with these books, I know they're so popular, like I'm very late on the train with these, but they do deal with domestic violence. So if that is something that is really hard for you to read and triggering for you, maybe stay away from these ones. But I really loved them. I thought they were really good stories on kind of breaking that cycle, hence the word It Ends With Us. I loved hearing about Lily's story. There's lots of flashbacks in the first book to her growing up with an abusive father towards her mother, like as a child and into teenhood and stuff like that, and then kind of tackling what she's going through as a young adult as well. So yeah, I really liked how this one unfolded. It Starts With Us was more so just a continuation of the first book and kind of where she's at now with what's going on in her life. I don't want to say too much and spoil anything, but this was a perfect continuation of the first book. This one actually had me laughing a lot because it was really funny in a lot of parts. But I really liked them. I thought they were beautiful books. They're actually making a movie of this one right now. I hope it goes well. So we'll just have to see. I don't think it's coming for a while. And then the last book, as we transition into TV shows here in a second. Daisy Jones and the Six is like all I can think about right now. My friend Sophia was obsessed with this and it inspired me to read it. And I know this one's really popular right now as well. I really, really enjoyed it. This one has more of like an interview style format. Like it's not like a traditional read. So it took me a second to kind of get into that format, but I really, really enjoyed it. I thought it was such a good story about this fictional rock band from the 70s, kind of their uprising and what all the characters are going through, how Daisy Jones and the band The Six kind of come together. And I just thought it was fantastic. I like that all the characters are pretty flawed. I feel like that made them a lot more interesting. And I was just super engrossed in this story. I finished it fairly fast and I was so happy with it. And it's all I can think about now. And speaking of Daisy Jones and the Six, continuing on into the world of TV shows, one of the other things that inspired me to read the book was I really wanted to watch the new show that's on Amazon. It is 10 episodes. We just binged it and finished it the other day. I loved it. It was one of my favorite like book to movie adaptations ever. The things that were changed in the show versus the book, I feel like were things that made so much sense and I was really happy with the changes that there were. But for the most part, everything was exactly the same. The characters were so spot on. I was so happy with how the show played out and I'm really happy that I read the book and then watched the show. But Zane didn't read the book, but he watched the show with me and he also equally enjoyed the show. And now I'm obsessed with the songs in the show. I feel like that's all that plays on my Spotify right now are songs from Daisy Jones and the Six because they are so good and I'm absolutely obsessed. And then final show is the second half of You. Season 4 released early in March and I loved it. I loved the first part, but I loved the second part way more. And I've had a couple friends talk to me about the show and they're like, I don't know, I watched the first part of season 4 and I just wasn't really getting into it. It was so different than the other seasons. And I'm like, please continue. It is such a different shift in this second half of season 4 than it was the first half. And I did like the first half. I loved the kind of murder mystery whodunit, but the changes that happen in the second part were so good. I'm not going to spoil anything, but man, it was fantastic. I just loved seeing how the inner workings of this season played out. Overall, I just thought it was so good. It just got renewed for season 5 and you better believe I'm gonna be there for it. I am so excited. I think it comes out next year, so thankfully we won't have to wait too long. but I'm super excited. And yeah, those were my favorites for the month of March. I would love to hear your thoughts. Have you tried any of the makeup, read any of the books, watched any of the shows that I mentioned today? I would love to hear what your favorites were, whether it's skincare, food, something you did. I don't care what it is, but I would love to know what your favorite things for March were. If you made it to the end of this video, why don't you leave your current favorite emoji? I feel like that's always a good one. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It helps my channel out a lot. And if you're not already, you can follow me on my other socials. You can join the battybean fam. I am battybean on everything, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And if you want, you can subscribe. If you want to see more of my videos, I'm posting most days here as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Okay, bye. As much as I love Daisy Jones and the Six, and I kind of want to read more books, I hear so many hit or miss things about like Malibu Rising and The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Like people either love them or absolutely hate them. So I'm like nervous to read more. And it's hard for me to even know if I like her writing style because this was such a different format. But let me know what you think about those books because I'm hesitant. We'll see.